Hi guys, it's Layla. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna touch on a topic that I don't feel we necessarily speak about that much when it comes to our healthy hair journeys, our natural hair journeys, or whatever kind of hair journey that you are on. I don't discriminate. But yeah, and that's basically scalp care. I recently uploaded a video on an herbal infused oil which helps to nourish your scalp and of course aid in growth and things of that nature. So I do feel like this is a topic that we don't touch on, and in that video I mentioned that I believe I owe my scalp two things, and that is to keep it clean and to keep it nourished. And both of these are extremely vital to having longer, healthier, more youthful hair, of course, because of course as your hair gets older, or as you get older, your hair doesn't look as youthful anymore, if that makes sense. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the video. This is going to be a mixture of what I do, what I don't do, why I do it, why I don't do it, and hopefully this will better enable you in your hair journeys to really understand the role that your scalp plays, and thus enabling you to have an all-round better experience, I guess, and also I guess to preserve the tresses on your head. So yeah, let's jump right in. So first things first, I get this question a lot. And I guess it's because, of course, a lot of you've seen all my wash day videos, you've seen my moisturizing videos, you've seen a lot of videos regarding the care of my hair, you've seen my products videos and all of that, and nowhere in those videos do I talk about greasing my scalp or applying anything to my scalp. So I do get a lot of questions from you guys asking me what I use on my scalp, how often I grease my scalp. I use the word grease lightly because I guess greasing the scalp has now become the name of the process, and not necessarily referring to whatever it is that you're applying to the scalp. So not necessarily using grease, but just how do I apply whatever to my scalp is the question I get a lot. And the answer is no, I don't. So I stopped greasing my scalp when I was about 19 years old. I'm now 28, for those of you that don't know. So when I was about 19, I was at uni, and I remember this so well. There was like a period of 6 months where I would wash my hair, and within 2 days my scalp would literally just be on fire. It would be so itchy and super flaky, and that was something that I'd never had before. I'd never had like a dandruff problem. I'd never had like that kind of scalp fire itching combination before, and I just didn't know what was causing it. So like I said, it happened for about a 6-month period, and one time it was wash day, so I washed my hair, and we were actually going out that night. So I was in a rush to get my hair ready to wash, blow dry, straighten it, ready to go out and party, uni life. And in that process I skipped something that I never ever skip, which is greasing my scalp. I actually forgot to grease my scalp that day because I was in such a rush, and that week my scalp was the happiest it's ever been in that 6-month period. I mean, outside of that I was fine. So I didn't know what it was. I was just like, oh my god, like why does my scalp feel so great? It wasn't dry, it wasn't flaky, and it still hadn't hit me that it was because I hadn't greased it that day or that week. Next wash day came around, and of course this time around I remembered and I greased my scalp, and the fire began again. So that's when I realized it, and I stopped applying anything to my scalp. So for those of you that want to know, that is the reason why I don't grease my scalp with the intention of like greasing it to the next wash day or anything like that. I don't personally advocate or tell people not to grease their scalp because it's your scalp, you know what your scalp needs. But people that are close to me, I'm always I don't know what the word is, but I'm always quick to, I guess, tell them to experiment and try going without applying anything to their scalp to see how it goes. So for example, as you guys know, my sister's completely natural now, and she has been for about 2 years or 2.5 years. She transitioned prior to that. And during her transitioning process as well, I kind of said to her, like, give it a go, stop greasing your scalp, just to, you know, give your scalp room to adjust and to see what it actually likes. Does it actually like to have anything put on it? Because you don't necessarily have a scalp condition that you're trying to treat with a product. So she stopped that, and she hasn't looked back since. And there's quite a few people in my inner circles that I always give this advice to. However, I stay clear of doing that here on YouTube, because of course people have scalp conditions, people battle with loads of different things, and it's always best for you to go and see a dermatologist or a trichologist when it comes to scalp conditions. I don't know what you have on your scalp, so me telling you that I don't grease my scalp, so stop greasing your scalp, might have adverse effects on your journey, on your hair, on your health, on your mental well-being, because I know when my hair's falling out, I am like breaking apart on the inside. So that's that. However, for everybody else who has like regular scalp, you don't have any scalp conditions, and you're still in that whole mindset of greasing your scalp so that your hair grows or whatever the case is, I would suggest that you stop. Not stop, but I would suggest that you try and see if you can go without it and see how your scalp responses. Basically, your scalp is designed to lubricate itself, and that's what it does. It lubricates itself. Your scalp produces sebum, which nourishes the scalp, and if you are a person who has naturally straight hair, the sebum is then able to travel from your scalp to your ends, thus nourishing your hair and not leaving it dry. However, if you have our kinkier hair textures, of course there's so many zigzags and coils and bends and stuff like that it takes longer, or sometimes unable to. Our sebum can't always travel from the roots to our ends, hence why we struggle with dry hair, we struggle with breakage, and we have to then go in with additional moisturizing, nourishing products on your strands. Your scalp itself is cool. Yeah, your scalp is cool. It doesn't need you to, you know, apply numerous things to it and leave it to sit there, just sitting there. So that's something that we should be mindful of if you're not already. And then moving on to the fact that your scalp just needs you to clean it. So you just need to keep it clean. Just like your skin, it turns over dead layers. All of that needs to be exfoliated, you know, all this washing motion that helps to get rid of the dead skin so that your follicles are unclogged and free to, you know, produce their own lubricating substance which doesn't clog them. However, additional things might do that. Oils don't necessarily clog your pores depending on what type of oil you're using to apply on your scalp. However, I just tend to stay away from applying anything that's going to sit on my scalp for a long period of time. However, this doesn't stop me from doing treatments. So if I am applying oils to my scalp, like hot oil treatments or anything like that, massaging that into my scalp, I might leave that overnight, I might leave that for a few hours, but I'll always rinse it out. And I think that's across board. So even if you look at Indian women who use coconut oil or Ayurvedic oils and stuff like that for scalp treatments and scalp massages, they tend to wash this out. Not just because it makes the hair greasy, but because your scalp doesn't need that. Once whatever you've applied to your scalp has done what it needs to do on the scalp, you do not need additional things sitting on there. Now, I'll let you guys know this from now. A lot of us complain about having thin hair, or you might go through a period of time where your hair is just generally growing thinner. You know, you have a shed piece of hair, you look at it and you can literally see where the strand is thinner, where it's thicker. It basically tells a story. So what happens a lot of the time is you are stunting your growth by allowing your scalp to be extremely dirty and clogged up. When you block the follicles, the hair can only grow through what it has. So if your follicle is clogged up and there's only a small opening, as the hair grows out, it will be shaped that way. So it will come out thinner because there's no room for it to, you know, grow to the diameter that it's supposed to be. So people that have naturally coarse hair, so coarse hair means the diameter of the hair, not the texture, and coarse hair is usually a thicker diameter in comparison to medium and fine. A lot of the time, people that have that, due to the fact that they don't wash their hair, their scalp's clogged up, your hair can actually start to change the way that it's naturally or genetically prone to grow, and start growing out fine. And you can have, you know, your hair could be growing out fine or medium because your follicles are clogged, your pores are clogged, and it just brings on a whole host of other problems. So I hope that this video makes sense, and hopefully it's not too long. I know that being a British person, when I'm talking like this, sometimes it can come across as very fast and quick paced. So I really do hope that you guys understand this and use this as a foundation for your hair care. We spend so much money, so much time trying to get our strands to be amazing and glossy, and we neglect the fact that your scalp is where everything begins from. So give yourself, you know, the best jump start ever by keeping your scalp clean, keeping it nourished, applying things that benefit your scalp, but also knowing when you need to like get those products off your scalp, by regularly washing your hair, focusing on your scalp, and yeah. So like I said, if you do have scalp conditions, please don't say that Layla has told me not to grease my scalp. Go see whoever you need to see, apply whatever you need to apply. I just don't do that. And yeah, I hope this video helps you guys, and happy hair growing. Hopefully the next part of this series will also shed some light on hair texture, growth rate, texture versus, you know, curl type, because they are two completely different things, and all that good stuff. I'll catch you in my next video. Bye guys.